Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A. And today I am going to try and plant out as much of my seedlings as I possibly can. I have the whole day to do this. It's not an ideal day. We got like little wispy clouds and we're probably at some point going to be reaching the mid 80s, if not the high 80s. But this is the only day I have to do it. So the plan is to hit the ground running. And I'm just gonna briefly point out the lovely gloved hands. I had a little kitchen accident the other day, so we are going to be trying to keep this hand as clean as possible, but still need to get things done. I have a whole bunch of tomatoes and peppers that probably needed planted out like 2 weeks ago. And then I've got all of my herbs and things and some companion flowers. Those are my main goals for today. If I have time, depending on how fast this goes, I might start doing some of my decorative pots, but I don't think it's going to get to that point because this usually takes me a while because I have zero idea of where I want to put each plant, so I have to figure that out. But I am going to go and see how many cages I have for my dwarf and determinate tomatoes. And then I'm going to start trying to organize all that to see which ones I actually want to plant out and where I want to plant them out. So let's do this. So here I'm just refreshing some of the pots that I did not empty out at the end of last year. And though this is a little dry, it is compost. This is going to be the daunting task of sorting through the tomatoes. Things got away from me a little bit. And I don't know if some of these are even happy anymore. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to clean some of these up. Some of these rough looking ones in the little pots are my duplicates, and I do have bigger ones. But I just want to make sure, get everything laid out before I choose which plant to actually plant. So over there, I'm putting my cherry tomatoes. These are my slicing tomatoes. These are my starfighter tomatoes. I've got my paste tomatoes, and then those are the dwarf. In case you're wondering how I am trying to group these, I might have to move these over a little bit. I don't think this speckled Roma is going to make it. Okay, I should probably be grouping like ones together. There's one tray empty. I'm going to move it out of the way. Might sort out my peppers as well. I might have to put the trellises up for some of these tomatoes, depending on how deep I can get the hole. Okay. It's the last of the tomatoes. Nope, I got 4 in another tray. Oh goodness. At the time when I started this mini tomatoes, it sounded like a good idea. Ooh, you are looking rough. I tried to keep up with watering these, but we got some pretty warm days here. You look really happy though. Okay. Now we are officially done with the tomatoes. Kind of want to do the peppers too, because if I have extra pots after I plant all the peppers, I might do more of the dwarf tomatoes than I originally thought. But maybe I should figure out everything else first. You know what, we've got the tomatoes down. So I'm gonna go see what I do and don't have tags for already. And I will only do one of each of the tomatoes to start out with. And then after I get the peppers set up, maybe I'll have space for a few more tomatoes in pots. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I like to reuse tags when I can. Yeah, that was productive. Should probably leave that open. Okay. I'm gonna take this glove off because it's hindering me more than helping. Okay. I know some of these I am not doing. Do have a picos. So we've got kind of like you a little better. So I'll mark you. Okay, I have to choose a California tulip. Solar flare. I think a good chunk of what I did do this year is new. So I don't know how many tags I will find. But like I said, I'd rather reuse. Find them all and then put them in place so I'm not constantly up and down. Okay. Don't need 3 Midnight Roma signs. I technically only have 2 plants. Just in case I decide to do both of them. I'm afraid that one of these California tulips is too big and the other one is too small. So I might just do both of them. So I need quite a few tags. The start of this always feels overwhelming. Okay. I think that's all the tags for now. I'm going to place them and then see where I'm at. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I've got 2 of my dwarf tomatoes and an eggplant because I'm tucking eggplants in. Just need to find my shovel. But really, where did I put the good shovel? Okay. Since these are dwarf, I'm not going to aim to bury them super deep. But a little bit deep is okay. Probably just dig all 3 holes at once. Do have some biotone. So I'm going to put a little in each hole. And so we've got some dead stuff that's here and there. So I'm going to cut some of that off. And that is the first tomato plant of 2025 in. Boom. Don't want to actually bury this. And I'll come back with tags later for the eggplants. This one could probably go a little bit deeper. Just gonna take the not so good stuff off. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the strings out and trellis those up now. So give me 2 seconds. I will go grab those because this is not gonna work. There we go. I just have to do that 2, 3, 4, 5, 22 more times. So we have all of the tomatoes now planted. This is where we started at, so you can see some of the dwarfs. And then my indeterminates, you sort of saw me trellis up all of these. So I just have a couple of landscape staples and a few barbecue skewers that I'm using to hold the twine to the ground. But then this year I'm starting with some of these tomato clips. I want to try those out this year. They're a little quicker to put on than the plastic tie stuff. So that is what I have all in through here. Some of the tomatoes are looking a little worse for wear. It is really warm out here and I have been manhandling them. But my goal was to get them in, and I really want to get the peppers in next. So these are my paste tomatoes. That one in the back, I don't know if you can see it in the back right there. I don't think it's gonna make it, but I had to try. I think that is the speckled Roma. If it doesn't work out and ends up dying off, I'll probably put my extra California tulip in its place. So those are all of the paste. And then we have the rest of the eggplant and another dwarf tomato. I'm a little tired, but like I said, I really want to get the rest of the stuff put in. I did do some of the dwarfs in pots, so I can show you those as well. So I have a couple here, and I'll leave the rest of these pots probably for peppers and herbs. And then if you come around on this side, you can still see my volunteer. I'm so tired I can't get the words out right. You can see my volunteer dill, and then I've got a couple of dwarf tomatoes here, and if you go over here, one right here, and the last one I have is this right here. This is mainly just an experiment. Both of these I have in other parts of the garden, so if they don't make it, they don't make it. But I kind of want them to vine up and onto the railing, but we'll see if that actually happens. But that is all of the tomatoes. I'm going to move on to peppers now. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with the peppers that I did with the tomatoes. I'm going to lay them all out. I'll probably separate them by hot peppers and sweet peppers, and then make decisions from there. Just like my tomatoes, my peppers got really tall. Okay. Now, the duplicates I do have of these ones are because I grew them for other people, not necessarily as backup. I did grow 2 of the pippins just in case. Which one I like more? Maybe this one. Okay, so these are the ones I need to find spots for. It's a lot of peppers. Okay, so these are last year's tags. Oops. Okay. I just have a few I need to write tags for. So it's officially been 9 hours since I first started this project, and as you can see, gloves are off. I am done for the day. I physically can't do anymore. I still have some flowers and some lettuce that I can plant out, but it's gonna have to wait for another day. But I did get all of the tomatoes, all of the peppers, all of the herbs. I got a good handful of nasturtiums and calendulas planted out, and marigolds. I did get some marigolds in, so I'm going to show you kind of what I've done. So these are the first two beds. As you can see, I've got my peppers planted out both here and over here. On the left is sweet peppers, on the right is the spicy peppers. And I did notice that I have some potatoes coming up, which is exciting. And you can see the marigolds in there as well. I have them on both sides. But yeah, you've kind of already seen the tomato planting. I did some basil in there, So that's kind of fun. I have some pots over here. One of them I put a pepper in. We'll see how it does. And I still need to get the fountain put in, and then I can do the zinnia area. The rest of the tomatoes, it is a mirror image of the other side. I've got basil and calendula and onions and nasturtium woven in with the tomato plants. And then I got these tall herb planters filled up. So I have sage, bee balm, and thyme. And then if I turn around, on this other side, I've got thyme, bee balm, and more thyme. So I've got an orangella thyme, an orange thyme, and a lemon thyme. So 3 different thymes. So over here, I've got a whole bunch of peppers and some tomatoes. And then I've got dill. You can kind of see right in this pot right here, I've got some geraniums. And it's pretty much mirrored on all of these groupings. Tomatoes, peppers, some herbs. Here we have the addition of lemongrass with the geraniums. And it is the exact same over here. In the back beds, I've already shown you the paste tomatoes, but I've got some marigolds and some nasturtium planted up in there. And then nothing new in that side, but I'll take you up to the deck. So here we have a pepper, a nasturtium, and some basil. I'm thinking about planting some beans in the rest of this pot area to fill it out. And then if I travel back through the mess of the spring garden, I have these 3 pots right here where I've got some more peppers and some stevia. So those are looking good. I can't get over how well the spinach is doing right now. But then this is where I'm gonna plant around 2 of my lettuce, because it should be shaded enough that maybe it won't bolt or get bitter too quickly. So that's the hope there. And then my last little thing to show you are these pots. I've got some dwarf tomatoes, some calendula, and some basil. All these are gonna go up on the deck later. But right now, we're just chilling down here. So that is the garden mostly planted up. I honestly have no idea how good the footage may or may not be. I do know everything died on me on one point, so there's that. Like I said, I was out here for 9 hours trying to get all of this done, which means once I get the rest of the stuff planted out, I'll probably do my first full garden tour. So if you want to follow me as this season continues to go on and we hit the warmth of summer, feel free to subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I do also have an Instagram and Threads account if you want to go follow me over there. I keep a little more up to date, or at least more timely, when I'm harvesting things or planting things out, so you can check me out over there as well if you want. Otherwise, thank you for hanging out with me today as I planted up the full garden. I can't wait to see it come in and start to harvest off of all of that. I'm excited to see where all of this takes me. I do hope I will see you guys again in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces.